We would like to remind you about some facts. We're 8 billion people living on this planet. 1.4 billion of us still live in extreme poverty. Most of them live in rural areas. These numbers are too high, so we have to ask ourselves, what is wrong? Let's take a closer look at rural Africa. Like this guy, there are many more people living in the region, but they are living in small villages, far away from each other and far away from a city with barely any infrastructure. In short, they live in remoteness. To find out what that means for their lives, let's have a look at Omar, a farmer in Africa. He's working day by day, and once he can harvest the fruits of his hard work, he wants to sell it to earn money for his living. But how to sell? He cannot just jump in his car and drive to the next market. There are no roads and he can't afford a car. He also doesn't have a laptop or internet access to find a buyer or figure out the right prices on Google or eBay. In short, there are no tools like the ones we are used to having. For Omar, that means he has no market access. So his produce starts to rot because he doesn't know about the existence of Django. He would love to buy Omar's products to provide his family with food, but they don't know about each other and can't reach each other. So now they trade via the middleman. But keeping all the profit margin for himself, the middleman is the only one getting richer. This situation is clearly inefficient. MYtradeworks exists to support people like Umar and Django. We don't want to impose just a first world solution. We want to work with what people already have. Mobile phones. Need some facts? Compared to a basic thing like electricity, we see that way more people have access to mobile phones. MYtradeworks wants to tap into that immense potential of mobile phones and use it to bring people together so they can trade directly and profit from it. Wonder how that works? Here is how. Whenever someone would like to sell, he just types an SMS indicating the product, the price, and where he lives, and sends it to MYtradeworks. The buyer also sends an SMS indicating what he wants to buy and where he lives. MYtradeworks matches that information and sends the buyer the 3 options that best fit his request and the contact details of the seller. Buyer and seller can then meet directly, wherever and whenever they want, and do their business. But that's not all. Let's see what else can happen. The farmer can sell much more via MYtradeworks than he could before. With increased demand, he is able to grow his business and hire some employees. On the other hand, it's easier for the buyer to buy more of what he needs. He can use to save time and money to start his own business. And he can now afford to send his kids to school. MYtradeworks connects buyer and seller, provides market access, empowers and creates a network, uses established technology, and the social impact? Once MYtradeworks reaches a critical user mass, it allows economic development. People can produce more as they know where to sell. They can start businesses, create jobs, develop their villages, and improve their lives. MYtradeworks gives the people the tool to develop themselves based on their own strengths. This is MYtradeworks.